welcome back to this next lesson. So we'll go straight in and let me show you how to install. So if you're already a Blender user, you should already know how to install an add-on or a plugin, right? So you come to plugin, install, find it where you've downloaded it. So I still have mine in download, so it's still loading, and you might have downloaded yours to wherever you downloaded it to. So just find it. We're looking for the zip folder. So mine's still low because I have over 500 files here in my downloads. So I would find the Autorig Pro, the zip version. So this is it here, right? So you can download it from the zip file, but I always advise you unzip the file and actually download, install every single thing one by one. This is what I mean. So this is my file here. So we'll come to add-on and install this. All I have to do is just click on each and every one of them and hit install. So when I do that, I'll find it Autorig, and we just search here Autorig. Autorig Auto. So you find it here. All you have to do is activate it, do the same thing, go back to install the picker, install the rig tool, same thing, install it and also activate it. So mine is already activated, so just activate it here and it's done. All right, so when you're done, activating the add-on, you just come here and save user preference, and it's already set to auto save, so it auto saves what you've done on the user preference. So you have your Autorig Pro here. All right, so it's fully installed. Okay, it's time for us to start rigging. So it's going to be interesting. I want you to follow along and have fun with this, and the more you practice, the more better you become. So some of you may be able to finish rigging your character in less than 5-10 minutes. I can assure you that if you follow me carefully. So first of all, we'll select the main object in this scene, right? We'll select the main object. So we have, let me show you, we have the eyebrow, we have the eyes, both left and the right eyes. If I press my Z key, it will give me this wheel here. So I'll select wireframe. So you'll see in the wireframe you can find the teeth, the up and down teeth, and you can find the tongue, right? So to go to wireframe, you can still come here, this solid view is wireframe, so shortcut is Z anyway. So press 1 to go to numpad. So if this is also assumed that you already know the basics, right, of Blender. So if you don't already know how to use Blender, check out the course on Introduction to Blender, where we learned how to model a room. And in that course I introduced you to everything about Blender. So I simplified everything in that course. So just go ahead and download or start watching or attending that course. It will really help you, because I will not be going into basics here. So this is more like assume that you have already dealt with the basics. You already know your simple move, rotate and scale, options. You already know how to go to wireframe, rendered mode, and also material. You know what I mean, right? So you already know the basics. So we are going to go straight into rigging. So this course is strictly for rigging, and sorry about that, I won't be going into basics right here. So haven't highlighted my body parts, right? So we still have a clothes or shirt and the trouser on. All right, so we'll go ahead and select the main object, which is the body here. Come to Smart Autorig, select object. So when you do that, it selects this particular object for you to rig. So all you have to do is hold down Shift with my middle mouse button to pan, so I can see my my character. So I'll just click on Add Neck. So what this point will do, add chin. So what this point will do is actually add points to different areas. Try not to rotate, all right? So just stay in your front view. So it adds points to different location of the body, such that, don't worry, let's continue. So you'll see how the magic happens. So we've added the shoulder. Now it's saying you should add the wrist. So hold down Shift and click my middle mouse button and move it to pan. So add wrist here, and also note that it's mirrored to the other side. So add spine roots. So this is your spine root here. I believe this is simple enough for you to follow. So add ankle. This is your ankle right here. And right here it says face setup. So let's set up the face before we press go. So if you click on face, it now brings every other body parts together, so you can set up the face rig properly. So this is the ear, right? So I'll select this, press G to move it and align it properly to where the ear is. This is more like the cheekbone. So I'm just clicking each point and pressing G to move them. This is more like the nose bridge. All right, this is the chin. All right, so I like working on the eyes finally. So box select this, just click and drag and box select this eyebrow, press G to move it up, select the points, press G to move and align them properly. All right, so having done that, I also box select the eyes now, press G to move it here, then press S to scale it on the Z axis. As I press S plus S and Z to scale it on the Z axis. So the reason why I'm mentioning the keys, so that just in case you still haven't remembered your basics anyway. So I'm just clicking on the point and moving them to align properly. So you see that didn't take us time. So the next thing before we press O is to select the eye object, which is the eye. So press tab to go into object mode, press the left eye or one eye here and click on this eyedropper tool to select that eye. So when you do that, you can now press go. So actually what it does now is something is wrong. We forgot to align the mouth, which would have to Control Z to do that. So let's go back to let's Control Z that, select our rig, press tab to go to edit mode. So let's align this mouth properly. So I'm pressing G to move, clicking on G to move, just align this mouth so it's more like just drop it on the lips. Alright, so having done that, we can now press go and let's go. So it's calculating and it's going to generate the bones for you, just like it did when we you see it now generates the bones for you. So you see now you now have the eyes. So it's really kind of looking complex, but do not be afraid. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is to come to Autorig Pro and click on match rig. So this match rig, when you click on it, it's going to generate the controls you use in controlling this character. So you see that before, some of you may not know, but before you'd have to insert all this bone manually. Imagine the ton of work that would be, that you have to insert, and if you make a mistake here, your animation will be messed up. Like you see, it has generated the bones. You can see those points we placed here. It now generates the fingers. So we did not have to do anything manually. You can see it generates those bones for you. Right here, you can see it there. All right. So it generates the bone. So initially we'll have to add bones, subdivide. A lot of work. That's for the bones. So you have to go into weight painting. A ton of work. So this plugin helps you generate these bones at different locations by just placing points at the precise location, just like we did the neck, the chin, the wrist, the shoulders, blah blah blah. So by clicking this match to rig, it now generates the controls for you to, such that you can actually move the head. You see, it now generates controls for you. Can you see that? That is amazing. Like, you can now click on this eye now, press G and moves it. So the reason why the character is not interacting with it, because we haven't binded the body or the character to this rig right now, but you can see that it has now generated a control for you to work with. So this is more like the puppet, or the puppet control, where you use to control the character. All right, pretty easy, right? So let's go ahead. In the next lesson, we're going to go ahead and bind this character to the rig, such that the character will start interacting with the rig as you move them or rotate them around. So see you in the next lesson. So please practice this process again. One thing I tell my students is never be to be in a haste to want to finish, right? Nobody ever finishes anything. There's no artist. If you ask a good artist, is your art ever finished, they will tell you they are never done, right? Well, they always have a definition of done at the end of the day. So nobody ever finishes anything. So if you can, pause this video and practice it again. Delete or restart this project again, and keep practicing and keep practicing. So now that we've generated our rig, in the next class we're going to bind this character to the rig. So see you in the next class. Peace.